In rural areas, kids are less than half as likely to have STEM experiences outside of school. There'd been a big focus on areas where there's a lot of poverty, but they're urban. And people had not looked at how are rural areas different. That was the gap, and that's what we're trying to address.
As far as the geographic area, 13 people per square mile. Kids in school might travel an hour to get to school. Public transportation is not here. It's like going to the moon. It's just a different place.
STEM was present in rural areas, but it's more in pockets. You might have a club that does robotics here and a 4-H program over here, but they don't necessarily connect with each other. And more important, people in the community don't necessarily know about their existence. If only we had people who could help us find all these resources, we could probably help others find the opportunities. And we call these people STEM guides.
My role as a STEM guide is to have an ear to the ground for what's going on in the community related to STEM and guide students to those activities, as well as help them kind of understand what's available for careers in STEM within Washington County.
It's all about experiential learning, so we just sort of create the opportunities and guide and coach.
We develop relationships with students, so we really have a good idea of what they're looking for, what their interests are, as well as developing relationships with other organizations.
I'm a catalyst, more or less, and a bridge between the community and the young people to sort of create a program.
The 5 hubs that we worked with, we were focused on true rural communities. We would start by figuring out which institutional partners have the most to gain from this, and how can we hit the ground running by finding those institutions and building on their work.
I've seen the same students come to activities over and over, and I've also seen those students come to other activities that they probably wouldn't have otherwise.
Their parents will drive them from other communities that we weren't targeting, but they were just so anxious to have that opportunity that they would drive, and their parents would find a way to get them there.
One of the main ways we look at the effectiveness is by interviewing the STEM guides very frequently. We do student surveys. We also have focus groups where we talk to kids about what they've gotten out of some of these programs and the kind of impact that the experiences have had on them.
There's something about working with young people, creating things that will go on without me.
We are building a model for STEM ecosystems that can be used in rural areas throughout the country. In Maine, because we're the most rural state, it's really a good incubator for this model.